Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, June 20th. It is 6:20 right now. We got market opening up in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish setting up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So let me go ahead and send out this link for the Zoom. All right, looks like we are good to go here. Let me just make sure all the settings are proper. Yeah, looks good to me. All right, so as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up my levels here. So let's see. Got resistance at 42, 449. Price is like way above it already. Let me go ahead and just mark this up over here real quick. Put this on my different screen. Let's see. All right, so we got resistance one at 42, 449. Price has pushed up quite a bit from this morning. Let's leave it here. Actually, it's easier for me to see. 42, 710. About to reach resistance too pretty soon. Looks like. One. Four, three. Roll. All right, so I got the levels pretty much marked up here. We pretty much pushed away from all the lower levels here, guys. Price is way above resistance and support. We're reaching the resistance two up here, which is like the only close level to current price. With that said, here's monthly support. So here's a monthly chart that I've marked up for you guys earlier this month. Price bounced off the support, came right back up. Here's a weekly chart. Price is still kind of bouncing around. So there's not really much to work with here. We'll probably have to look at the market profile as market opens up. just to have a better idea of like what to look for with regard to balances. Let me go ahead and start marking up the liquidity now. And we're coming back from holiday, so we'll check my PDF in a few what to look out for. But yeah, price pretty much pushed away from all of the support and resistance from below, and we're pretty far up right now. I don't think price is going to knock out these higher levels today. Super, whatever. 30-minute, 15-minute, 10-minute. Down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks like we are good to go. So good morning, everybody, guys. It is Friday, June 20th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:27 right now. We have market opening up in about 3 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Like I said earlier, guys, when I marked up the support and resistance, we're pretty far from a lot of it. We're pretty far from the VWAP too, which is like way down here. So I mean, we're getting a pretty hard push to the upside. Looking over here at my PDF for the day. So bias for today is moderately bullish. You can see here it's already pushing up. I generated this report at 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock over here, prices pushed up quite a bit. Um, Looking at this here, it says why am I showing resilience above key support at 42,000 with a constructive structure holding above VWAP and reclaiming short-term EMA levels. Despite macro tensions, Iran in the Middle East, equities are weathering global headwinds and rotating into large caps and defensive sectors. So with that said, a lot of people are starting to invest in these companies, right? These large caps and defensive sectors because we're probably going to go into war if things don't get resolved anytime soon, which they probably won't. Keynote here, we remain bullish above 42,011 and neutral slightly bearish below 41,834. As you can see over here, we're way above 42,011. So we're probably gonna be bullish for today, mainly looking for buys. We have key levels here to watch. I've already marked them up on the chart, but you can see here that price is way too above everything. So we're way above resistance one, which is down here, and we're above resistance two as well. So if that's the case, we might have to work with the market profile because a lot of these key levels that we were looking for have already been broken. So with that said, we have one news event for today, or a couple things to look at, but one main news event, which is going to be the Philly Fed Index and existing home sales, which already passed, I believe. And then other than that, we have the Iran-US global tensions, and then that's about it for the most part. So we'll try to look for some entries here, guys. But like I said, we're far off from these levels already. I printed this report at 5 o'clock over here, and it said price was going to be bullish. Price has been bullish right here, and it's been pushing up higher. If you're looking for the breakout, guys, breakout for today is going to be a buy, it looks like. The ATR is currently at 20, so we're pretty high right now at the moment with regard to volatility. We had price over kind of come up, sweep this area with the liquidity and resistance too. Price is now coming down as we speak, and we'll continue to see if price pushes back up. So if this is the case and price continues to push back up higher, then we may have a liquidity sweep from somewhere up here. If not, then we'll continue watching to see what happens next. But price is kind of bouncing around this area. This is opening price right here. So we got opening price, which is right here. We got price kind of pushing down a little bit. Let's see, it's pushed down about 50 points. Looks like it might push back up here. Obviously, when you come back from a holiday like yesterday, you don't really want to jump into stuff right away. You want to wait for something to kind of present itself and a direction to establish before you start jumping into things. Looking over here at the market profile, there's not really too much around this area. We have a value high here that got tested. It's at 42,690, 42,690, which is going to be right at the resistance. So I'll put this over here real quick, 42,690. This is the value high. Price obviously just rejected directly off it. 720. This whole area right here is a bunch of resistance points, but we don't really have much opportunity around here. So what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to look for liquidity to start building up around this area here. So what I'll be looking for is I'll look for price to kind of come down a little bit, retrace, establish some sort of liquidity, and then come back down lower. So that when it comes back up, I'll look for that entry or liquidity. We got price pretty much just kind of sitting around here for now. If you guys do want to take a sweep, possible sweep will be around this area up here. It's going to be a little tricky because it's past the resistance already. It's not like this is a new area that's going to be tested. Looking over here, if price does push up any higher, we do have the monthly resistance, which is going to be at 42, let's see, 42,900 and 3,000. Or sorry, 43,000. I don't know why I said that. Let me go over here and I'll mark that up real quick. So if price pushes up higher, we got this right here is going to be the monthly resistance. That's if it pushes that high. If it does push that high, though, that's going to be a pretty good area to be looking for some sells because if price does push up, we got some liquidity sweeps right there. So that's a pretty solid area to look out for if price pushes up higher. I mean, price here may continue to be bullish. If that's the case, that's completely fine. What you might see here is a possible sweep. Well, it looks like a sweep might have happened right here, a small one. Yeah, so it looks like there's a small sweep off this liquidity. You can see how we had this big spike. This was the opening candle, actually. Price came down, swept liquidity right here, and then it shot right back up. Not going to look for that one, though. I'm going to look for the next opportunities to come up. First things first, we have a possible MPSV2 setting up here. So we got a sell signal. We're going to look for a possible retracement and continuation lower. If that's the case, then we'll look for a possible sweep after that. The only problem here is there's no levels or there's no confluences down here to look for sweeps, right? So we have liquidity right here, but we don't have any sweeps or no confluences for the sweep. So let's see, point of control is going to be right here at, I think it's at 58, 42,578. All right, I'm going to color this black. This is going to be market profile. Yeah, so we got bounce areas here, but we don't really have, the confluences are not close enough to these liquidity zones. So we got liquidity down here and we got liquidity up here. If price does push any lower, this is probably going to be the area that I look for the bounce. So maybe this lower level of liquidity below. But yeah, these levels over here, they're just not close enough to the confluences. We do have a sweep level right here, but the point of control is way down here. We've got a bit of a mess in the market. Ideally, I'd be looking for some buys here. So there's no MPSV2 here yet for a sell. We had a sell signal, retracement, no confirmation. There's a couple things here to look out for. If price ends up closing below this area right here with a red candle, so if this closes below this area with a red candle, no buy signal, this will be an MPSV2 for a sell. Just something to look at there. If it doesn't and price ends up pushing up, then we'll have a possible MPSV2 setting up for a buy. So we got a couple things here to look at. I mean, we just got to take it candle by candle. There's no need to force anything, guys. I'm just waiting for price to get near these levels that I'm actually looking for. I'm probably gonna sit out on MPSV2s for today because I mean it looks like price might be ranging for a bit. Looks like it's starting to establish a range. So if I look at this closely, I mean it looks like price is starting to establish. And I gotta change these. We got that right there, and we have this down here. So it looks like price is starting to establish a little bit of a range between these areas right here, right? I mean, this support level has already been established from earlier this morning right here, but for the most part, it's kind of bouncing back and forth. So we got a buy signal right here, guys. With that buy signal, there's no longer going to be an MPSV2 for a sell. We're looking for MPSV2 for a buy now. So now instead of looking for price to come down, we're looking for price to push up, retrace, and push up higher from there. If that's the case, great. Price can push up. We can possibly catch a sweep from up here. Again, I don't really like this sweep area because there's no confluences nearby. I mean, there's a resistance too down here, but it's a little bit far from the sweep. It's 30 points away. All right, we got price pushing up right here. It's going to start setting up for an MPSV2 really soon, it looks like. We got the buy signal, price pushing up. Next thing we'll be looking for is possible retracement. Once we have the retracement, we'll look for confirmation for continuation. Not much else here. Okay, so looking at the value high over here, I'll mark this up just as another resistance point. So 42,780, the 16th. This value high is not even from today. 690. Yeah, this is from 17th actually. Just so we know what dates these are from. Okay, the next value high is going to be up here. 780 on 16th. $780 right there. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm pretty much marking up possible confluences because we don't have confluences around these areas. Um, we got price just kind of ranging within this area here right now. Once price breaks out of this range, I'll just take all this stuff off because it's not really necessary. There's a possible sweep area right here, but this sweep isn't going to be a setup for me specifically because there's no confluences around here. The closest confluence is going to be right here, resistance 2 and the value high, but they're too far from this liquidity price point. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. If this candle closes green, this will be an MPSV2. This will be a continuation momentum pattern. We had a buy signal, retracement, confirmation, basically this type of pattern right here. So if this closes as a decent green candle, this will be an MPSV2. If you guys want to take it, feel free to take it. I'm probably not going to take it because I just don't feel comfortable trading in this open area where the confluences are just not super strong. And the candle looks kind of weak as well. All right, so we got an MPSV2 here currently running. If you guys want to take it, it's currently active and in profit. We'll follow it for you guys here. I'm not in this position. I'm looking for possible sweeps to follow. The reason why I thought this would be a little tricky is because there may be a possible sweep at that liquidity right there, right? And it's currently at resistance. So this is where it becomes tricky because the analysis here conflicts. We have a momentum directional move right here for MPSV2, but we also have a rejection point, right? We have a rejection point for resistance. We have a rejection point for liquidity. So for those specific reasons, I'm not taking this trade here. If this was open and there was no bounce areas here, there's no possibility of price maybe turning around, I would take it. But there's just too many things here to look at that are pointing me towards calling this a risky trade. So we'll follow for you guys and we'll see how this ends up moving. I'm not in the position here. Like I said, I gave you guys my reasons there for why I wouldn't take that specific position. And I still hope it plays. Like I don't want to fade my own position here, of course, because this is obviously it's my strategy. I would want the entry to still hit. Looks like the volatility here is starting to slow down a little bit. It's 6:42. It's not quite 7 o'clock yet, but the volatility here is a little more flat. What we might get here is a possible break and retest off the resistance. You can see over here, this is resistance 2, this red line. Looks like we're getting a break and retest off that resistance and possibly push up higher to hit our TP here for the MPSV2. Again, like I said earlier, it's kind of tricky where we're currently at because there's a lot of areas here for price to turn around on us. But now that we have this confluence here, I think this does look like a good MPSV2. It's a nice break and retest off my resistance 2 level right here. Yeah, it looks like it's about to hit. So maybe 20 points would be good. Let's see. Yeah, 20 points already hit actually. So if you guys caught that for 20 points, 20 points is already done with. The ATR is a little high, so I mean, I probably wouldn't have cut it shorter. But if you wanted to cut it shorter, if you guys feel comfortable taking a smaller target, then 20 points would have gotten hit already. So 20 points is pretty much done with if you guys took this entry here. I'll keep following it for the 30, but 20 points is full TP. All right, so MPS V2 right there. I think a 20 point would actually make more sense because the liquidity is right there. So 20 point in and out pretty quickly. I think this will push up to the 30 though. We had a possible value high up here. Nice. So Sam actually took the MPSV2 full TP right there, guys. Looks like the full 30 got hit. All right, so solid work right there if you guys caught that for the full 30. We're now at the area of liquidity above. Let's take off this resistance here now. Clean that up. Nice. Okay, perfect. Sam caught that for 20. Nice work, Sam, on catching that MPSV2 there. All right, just cleaned up my chart a little bit to have more areas here to look at. So looking at this here so far now, we've got price pushing up to the next level of liquidity, which could be up here. This is a little far above the value high, but there's possible sweep areas right here. We got that one right there. We got some more higher sweep areas. For me personally, I would probably look for a sweep up here. So my sweep would probably be from this upper level if we get this high. It's a big if, right? A big if we get this high. Um, I mean, we'll see if the volatility holds up. Looking at my analysis from this morning, guys, my PDF did say that this was going to be bullish from 5 o'clock up until now, which is exactly what's happening. I don't really think there's much else here. Yeah, so over here for my trade setups, we had opening drive breakout. Basically, said watch for a strong directional move above 42,300, 42,450, and with a volume target of 42,710, which did hit, which is up here. It took a while for it to hit, but it did hit. That was actually a really good setup now that I'm looking at it here. Yeah, entry for that was strong directional move above 42,300. That was actually a huge push. Pre-market move over here. Yeah, it's a little farther off. So we don't really have any confluences up here, guys, with regard to my outlook for the day because everything's so far above. The resistance one is right here. This is like the highest level that we have. The other levels that we can look at would be the monthly. So price is pushing up to the monthly resistance up here. It's not quite there yet, but it is pushing up to the monthly resistance. So I have this marked up here. If price does get to this point, then possible sweep area from over there. But it looks like price might just be sitting around this middle area right here. Same resistance that I marked up earlier. Price is kind of just pulling back into it. So here's the same um, support resistance we had up earlier. Price is kind of just hanging around. So basically pushed up, faked out, and pulled right back into the range. But looking up here, there's just nothing to really work with, guys. If you look over here, I've marked up the value high from the 16th. That's possible bounce area, or 17th and the 16th. The next bounce area is going to be up here. So I guess if you want to keep looking for entries around these areas, you can possibly look for a sweep right here too. There's just too many possible areas for sweep, and like it's hard to choose the proper one. So here's a couple of things that I'll kind of point out. This will be probably the first level of sweep. I probably would ignore the second level and I'd go up to this one right here. So there's two levels of sweep right here. So basically, if this one you take, you lose, that's fine. Take this one up here and you'll probably win, so you could break even on that. Or if you want to do it differently, what you can do is you can do this for a 1-to-1 and then do this for a 1-to-2. There's a couple different scenarios there that you can play out. So if you want to test this level here for a sweep, if you lose this here or if it wins, perfect. But if it loses, that's perfectly fine because now when it pushes up higher and it gets up to here, like say for example, this loses and pushes to this level, you can take this for a 1-to-2 and then you'll just bounce back. You'll have profit back plus a win. So you got two levels here for sweep above. Price is right here down the middle. Um, yeah, I don't know if price will reach this high. If anything, I'll look for a possible sweep down here, but it's gonna be kind of tough to look for those buy sweeps. Because looking over here, there's no confluences, right? We have liquidity hanging out right here, but there's no confluences. We have the point of control, which is down here. So, for example, if I'm gonna look for a buy sweep, I'm gonna look for a buy sweep down here. Again, if you want to do the same thing that I talked about up here, you can do that as well. You can go for the first level if you want. And then if you want to double up on this lower level, like say, for example, it comes down here and it stops you out, right? It happens. That's just part of the game. You have to understand the risk involved with these sweeps. But price could possibly come down here, stop you out. And if it stops you out right there, take the next one for a 1-to-2. You'll balance out your profit and you'll also make profit on top of it. So for me, what I did is I cut my risk into 3/4, or not 3/4, into a third. So, or yeah, basically 3/4. I cut my risk into a third, so I can take multiple trades. In order for me to have one loss for the day, like one full loss, I would have to take three losses. So I'm not going to make a ton of profit per trade, and I'm not going to take a big loss, but it gives me opportunity to give it a second chance or a third chance actually. So we'll see. I mean, we got to give it some time here, but we'll see what happens in a few. Ideally, I'd probably go for the last one right here, but and there's an MPS right here for a sell. Thanks, man, for that heads up. I didn't even see that right now. There's an MPS V2 here that just ran and it hit TP, if anybody caught that. Happened so quickly, I didn't even see that. Yeah, because the sell signal came up, retracement, confirmation right here. This was an MPS V2 for a sell within the range. Nice. Sam caught it as well. Nice work, guys, for whoever caught that right there. Nice. And Sam said he caught the NPS V2 on NQ, same place as well. Nice work, Sam. Yeah, Christian said it had red flags, so we didn't take it. Yeah, it was right at opening price. I think that's why I wasn't really paying attention to it because it was right at opening price. So I figured, okay, this is probably not going to be a best, one of those good setups for me to look at. If you guys want to take a sweep up here, you guys can possibly take a sweep. There's just no confluences up here. Like I said, these are sweep levels, but there's no confluences here for the sweep. So if you guys want to take it, again, feel free to take it at your own risk. I'm not really looking to take anything here too risky. But there's going to be two levels of sweep. First level is going to be right here at 42,612. Next level is going to be down here at 42,608. So two levels of sweep that are available right here at this support zone. It's just a current support zone, like a current bounce support zone, but it's not like an established support, at least not yet. So I'll just put this here for now. This is going to be like a micro resistance, and this is going to be a micro support. So if you guys want to take a sweep, you can possibly take a sweep right here if you guys are up to that risk. It's at 42. I mean, I probably would go for the lower one right here, 42,608. Let me see if I could maybe. Looks like that first level got triggered already. Yeah, I was kind of tempted to get into this sweep right here. Sweep's already active. The 608 here could be a possible good one. But like I said, there's just no confluences around this area. As much as I'd like to take those sweeps, there's just not enough confluence. The point of control is a little lower right here at 580. So this is where I would be a little wary, is because price might try to reach the point of control, which is down here. Looks like the sweep here is getting filled, or it's already filled. It's about to hit its TP. Yeah, so full TP right there if you guys caught that first sweep that I mentioned, which was right here. So I'll take off this support zone. See, we had the liquidity right here. Price pretty much just bounced off that liquidity, off the micro support. So if you guys caught that, nice work. I would have probably waited for the second level, so it just would have never filled for me. But like I said, there's these little areas of sweep. Nice. Sam caught that sweep right there. Solid work, Sam. Yeah, it's all good. I didn't get into it because I was gonna wait for it to drop down here to the 608, but price never dropped down to that point, so my sweep would have never gotten filled. With that said, we have a new sweep level. That's starting to push down there. All right, so what you can look for here, if you guys are still looking for entries, you can look for possible MPSV2 to the upside. So looking at our entries for today, guys, um, we had MPSV2, MPSV2, sweep. Now that we have the sweep, possible MPSV2 back up higher. So maybe another possible buy signal, which may come up here. We're stuck within this range though, so we'll see what comes up next. So we got a pending buy signal here. If this buy signal closes, this could be a possible MPSV2 setup. Nice, Jonathan caught it as well. Nice work, Jonathan. All right. Looks like Sam might be calling it a day. I mean, I would if I was in your situation, Sam. It's Friday following a holiday. So, I mean, getting any wins today is solid. I just haven't had any entries around like where I want them to be. Um, Obviously, I'd ideally look for some buys here, but they're just not coming up as uh as clean as I'd like them to be. Yes. So Sam said 42,580 buy would be nice. Yep, around the point of control. So that's the area that I was looking for earlier, Sam. I was looking for price. That's why I was kind of scared to take the entry right here because I was like, okay, if price breaks through this area, it can still reach the point of control where it can possibly bounce off of, right? The point of control right here is pretty much where it's where a majority of volume is sitting. So that's where the point of control is down here. 585. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole zone. There's like a whole zone right there for volume. And that's the point of control from today. Let's see the market profile on the 1 minute. So the value high is going to be here at 700. All right. It's pretty much lined up with yesterday's value high. All right, no buy signal here yet, guys. So no buy signal here. Price kind of pushing down. It's kind of boring now. We're getting close to 7 o'clock, so volatility here is starting to die down a little bit. I try to get my entries before 7 because that's where the volatility happens, but there just hasn't been any any setups here. Looks like this could have been considered a sweep right here too off this resistance point, but that resistance wasn't really established yet. All right, we got price pushing back down lower. No buy signal yet, so there's no MPSV2s. Um, there may be another possible sweep right here. Again, we have two levels, but like I said earlier, guys, this isn't exactly the best level to be looking at or looking for. Oh, my bad, Sam. Thanks for the heads up on that. Yeah, I cleaned up the chart when I had the mentoring session. I forgot to put it back on. Thanks for the heads up, Sam. I was like wondering, I felt like something was missing on the chart, and it was the reversals indicator. So there we go. We've got it on there now. Steven, it's for both. You're trading a one-to-one, so it'd be this equal amount. All right, we got price bouncing off the micro support right here. So we got micro support bounce, but no liquidity around that area. Liquidity is a little bit lower right here. So liquidity is a bit lower, plus there's no buy signal. So we're going to look for a couple things here. We're either going to look for price to push down, sweep this level of liquidity, or we're going to look for an MPSV2 to continue pushing price up higher. There's only two different scenarios that we're looking for. We're either looking for a continuation, momentum in that direction, or we're looking for price to reach a certain area and sweep, right? So keep things pretty much simple and straightforward. We're either looking for a directional move or looking for a bounce. Right now, there's no directional move because there's no buy signal. So the closest thing you can look for is a possible bounce, which would happen right here at the liquidity. Only problem with this area of liquidity is that only problem with liquidity here is that it's not really close to any of the it's not really close to any of the confluences, right? Point of control is down here, Asia high is down here, resistance is down here. There's just nothing in this area. So you can take it as a sweep, but it's not going to be a quality sweep because there's no confluences there. You can see here that price is just ranging sideways. You want to be careful for taking entries in this type of market because it's preparing for a breakout, right? You guys know what happens when price squeezes like this. When price starts to squeeze, eventually it's going to break out. It's going to keep going sideways and then eventually huge breakout to the upside or a huge breakout to the downside. Right? We don't know for sure, but that's what we're looking for. Yeah, we're not sure which direction it could happen, but it's going to happen eventually. Whenever price squeezes like this, that's what you want to look out for next. Possible breakout. And these candles are pretty small. So with the candles becoming small like that, the ATR here is probably going to drop even more. It's currently at 24 ATR. It's probably going to drop more from there. Let's take a look at the news for today. Yeah, so the Philly Fed manufacturing or Philly Fed index over here, it was negative pre-market. That's about it. There's nothing else for today. See if there's anything over here. So bullish breakout already happened. Bearish breakdown 41,000. We're probably not going to get to that because it's pretty far below. Pullback setup is by the dip zone. Dip's going to be at 41,000, 42,000. Probably not going to happen because it's way down below. If that's the case, then it's going to line up with my sweeps down here. So yeah, if price does come down here, I could buy the dip from this area. That's going to be my closest area with like actual good confirmation and confluences. But until then, it's not really much. Still no movement here from the charts. Yeah, not too much here right now. All right, so here's Jonathan's profits for the day. He locked in 282 off the sweep that happened down here. Nice work, Jonathan. And congrats to Valentine over here. Valentine just got a payoff from Traderify, locked in 1,700. Yeah, pretty solid right there. Valentine said after commissions, Traderify is proving to be very consistent and fast with payment in his account within 5 minutes in the UK. Nice. Yeah, Traderify is pretty solid. Um, I think Tradeify is probably more solid than Apex. Apex is good. Don't get me wrong. I really like Apex, but yeah, I think Tradeify is becoming a little faster and they're becoming a little more consistent with the payouts. So pretty good. But yeah, Valentine pretty much killed it over the past couple weeks. Been taking like pretty much every entry that comes up. All right, there's nothing here right now, guys. Again, we're still looking for opportunities here. Again, I was looking for a possible bounce here, but price never came down to this liquidity. There's no MPSV2 here yet. See, Steven is asking leverage funding traders offer is 20 to 1. Is that the right leverage? I mean, honestly, I have no idea, Steven. I don't use that funding company. I can only help you with stuff that I actually use. If you have questions like that, you probably want to ask the actual prop firm. The thing is, leverage doesn't really matter, Steven, because I think you feel like you're trying to like the leverage really does matter because the thing is you can't risk the whole amount. Like if you get a $100,000 account, Steven, that doesn't mean $100,000 is for you to blow, right? You can only blow what's within your daily risk. So the leverage doesn't really matter because you still have to stay within the daily loss limits or the max loss limits. So leverage is pointless, bro. Like there's no need for you to even ask that question. Because it doesn't matter if it even if you had like 100 like 1 to 100 leverage or 1 to 50 or 1 to whatever it may be 1 to 10 1 to 5 you're still set at your max loss for the day, so it doesn't matter what the leverage is. It's like you can't risk the whole account. The only reason you'd want a lot of leverage is if you could blow the account in one trade, which you can. So yeah, bro, it just doesn't. I feel like you're asking what kind of irrelevant questions, Stephen, with regard to leverage. Um, because it wouldn't matter. You just have to look at whatever your daily loss is for the day. Because whether your leverage is super high or super low, if you get to that daily loss, you blow the account regardless. Yeah, they just put the leverage there so that like they put it out there, but the leverage doesn't matter. Leverage just means how much you can lose per trade. But like say for example, if you're doing like $100,000 account and your max daily loss is like 5,000, right? It wouldn't matter if your leverage is like 1 to 100 or like 1 to 5. If you lose that 1,000 or 5,000, whatever it may be, um, you blow in the account. So yeah, you don't need to pay attention to leverage at all. Pay attention to whatever your daily loss is or your max loss. Yeah, Shivam said one reason I got to say prop firms are solid forex trading is yeah, exactly. So well, like Shabam said, forex trading is like you would need risk management regardless of the fact with the prop firms because it doesn't really matter what the leverage is. The leverage just limits you. So, like, say for example, if the leverage is too small, then you'll get liquidated out of your position. So if it's super low leverage, like 1 to 10, then you could only risk like 10% per trade. But it wouldn't matter because all these prop firms they only allow you to risk um what is it like less than 5% before you blow the account. So it wouldn't even matter because either way, you're going to be cutting into those. Fuck, and there's another sweep that just happened right here, guys. I wasn't looking to take this sweep though because there's no confluences, but another sweep just happened right there. So sweep's currently running right here, guys. If anybody is looking to take it, or if anybody did decide to take it, there's those lower areas of sweep right here. Again, there was no confluences around this area, so I wasn't necessarily looking to take the sweep here. The point of control is down here. Again, the sweep that I was looking for would have been down here, closer to the Asia high. We do have the micro support here, but the micro support isn't like a super strong support level. We do have an engulfing here, so this could be a good push to the upside. So we have an engulfing off liquidity. So this will probably hit the 30. I think the 20 already got hit. Yeah, 20 is already done right there, full TP. The 30 is probably going to push through to it. Yeah, Sam said it's trapping buyers. We'll sweep below 605, 5 minute fair value gap, not A plus plus not taking. Yeah, so like what Sam said, this could be possibly trapping the buyers here. What I would look for, so with that A plus plus there, what I would look for is I'd look for price to actually push above, and I would take this as an MPSV2. So I would look for price to kind of break past this area and then push up higher, and then a possible MPSV2 down the middle would be a nice entry. Because you would have confirmation of sweep down here. This would be your first confluence to look for. And then on top of that, you have an engulfing candle. So there's two confluences right there, right? You have a nice rejection off this point if it did reject off it nicely. And if it pushes up higher, so we have a pending buy signal, possible MPSV2 back to opening price. So there's just a couple things here to look at. I mean, I'm just looking at these confluences here because you can kind of build off these confluences, right? If you have enough confluences here to kind of identify where price is going to go, we now have another engulfing candle pointing downwards. So with that said, there's probably not going to be much of that push that I was looking for. And this is kind of what I was um, sort of like worried about with taking the sweep here. Because see how price is coming back down lower? The target area is going to be this point of control. So if it keeps dropping lower, this is where I'm looking for price to reach. Because this is where the volume is sitting, right? This is a market profile. Price pushed away from this area, and it's now getting to this point of control, which is down here. Let's see. Steven, bro, I don't know why you always try to like use these bootleg brokers, man. I don't even know what you're even doing over here or what broker this is even. I feel like every day, every time you come on the live session, Steven, you're using some new bootleg broker from I don't even know how you can find out where these brokers come from or these prop firms. What was this one called again, Steven? You told me the name yesterday, but it was like I've never heard of it before. Well, I know no TradeLogger is a platform, but what prop firm is this? Oh, okay, so this is the one you were talking about, funding traders. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why you didn't just stick with like Tradeify, bro. Like everybody here is getting payouts through Tradeify, and I think it's around the same price. They offer funded accounts for 100,000. What I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want, Steven. I mean, I don't have a say with like whatever prop firm. I'm just like always like kind of curious why you're using like these kind of random ones. But it's okay. I mean, you can keep using those. Steven said they don't have a limit on how much you can receive for your profit split. I mean, you got to get a profit split first, bro, before you can worry about how much you can withdraw. So, I mean, it's all good. Go ahead and use it then if you want to use funding pips, but you gotta, you can't look too ahead like, oh, they give like unlimited withdrawals, but you haven't gotten a withdrawal yet, right? You got to focus on like actually getting the withdrawal, and then you can maybe like go for the for the other prop firms that don't have those limits. I mean, it's okay. I'll let you use them, and then if they pay out and they're good, because I've heard like mixed reviews about funding pips. Or not funding pips. What's it called again? Funding traders. So yeah, I mean I can't help you with that, Steven, because I don't use forex brokers. I use futures brokers, so I can't tell you what I can't tell you what well, I gave you all the numbers yesterday, bro. Never mind, Steven. Just look back at the messages I sent you, bro. I sent you a whole breakdown of everything yesterday. Did you not look at it? Let me see what I sent you yesterday. There's no entries right now, guys, so it's okay. So did you try putting like what did I tell you yesterday? I gave you a whole ChatGPT response. Like ChatGPT is pretty right when it comes to did you try the 2.5 standard lots? Because you're supposed to be doing Uh, right, I think I told you here. Yeah, use the 0.20. Honestly, Steven, I can't help you with this, bro, because I don't. I'm asking ChatGPT for your answers to your questions because I don't use forex brokers. So you got to ask somebody who actually uses that prop firm that can help you. Because I can't, I really can't help you with funding traders. I've never used them before. I've never even heard of them, honestly. Um, and we trade futures, so we trade in contracts. We don't trade lots anymore. So yeah, you could probably ask, um, just ask funding traders directly if they can help you, or pull up ChatGPT, ask them yourself. Because I try to ask them like as detailed a question as possible, but I gave you pretty much everything that I found. All right, guys, we have a possible MPS V2 setting up over here. This MPS V2 looks like it could be pretty good. All right, so we got a possible MPS V2 setting up right here, guys. Been waiting for some sort of setup to kind of appear here. MPS V2. This actually could be a pretty nice MPS V2, guys, now that I'm looking at it, because we have a V1 right here. We have a nice rejection off the liquidity. So this could be a possible start of a push from here. First leg, push back up from there. Break and retest off the micro support. Yeah, Sam said it took the buyer stop loss, tap 5 minute fair value gap, now waiting for 42,580 tap and buy response. Okay, cool. Yeah, basically break and retest of that area. I don't know if price will get down to that point. It looks like price is actually pushing up from here now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We have, again, we have a V1 right here. This is probably the start of the leg momentum signal. Possible retracement and push back to open here. We don't have that retracement yet, though. All right, looks like price is taking off now. It's pushing up to the open. All right, we never got that retracement, guys. So unfortunately here, um, yeah, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to take this here for an MPS V2 because we already had the push up right here. I don't think I'll take this as an MPS V2. I'll probably look for sweeps to follow it. Um, yeah, it's just I'll clean this up right here. So sweep happened right there. Price pushed up higher. This could be a possible MPS V2. The thing is, we have red flags here now. Price is pushing up, and we have red flags, which is opening price. All right, so we got this here possibly setting up for a buy. This could be a possible MPS V2 here. If you guys want to take it, if the candle closes green, this will be an MPS V2. The only thing to really look out for here is that we have a bunch of red flags in this area. We got the value high right here. We got opening price. So the thing that you want to be careful for is if price reaches these points, it can possibly bounce. So we might get a bounce off there, might get a bounce off there, might get a bounce off there. There's going to be a couple different areas here to look out for, possibly for a reversal. So if you guys want to take this MPSV2, I mean, take it at your own risk. I'll watch it for you guys and we'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it myself because there's just too many areas here where price can possibly bounce from. Um, Not to say that this is going to be a bad entry. I think this could be a good entry. It's just there's too many red flags here. All right, so the trade's running right now in profit. This is the MPSV2. Like I said, it's a little tricky because there can bounce right here off the opening price or it can bounce right here off the value high. So if you want to go for a 20 target, I mean, you could probably go for that 20 instead of the 30. 20 looks like it already got hit right there. So it's currently bouncing off the opening price. 20 got hit right there. We'll see if the full 30 gets hit. Man, this is exactly what I was looking for too. So this was a good setup. It was just the problem with this entry was that we had the red flags right here. If this would have came up down here, then this would have been perfect. I would have taken it with no questions asked because we already had the V1 buy signal, breaking retest off the micro support, and it pushed up higher. But the problem is that it pushed up a little too high, so I didn't really have space here to write it up any higher. Looks like Sam over here caught it. Nice work, Sam. Sam caught it for 15 points, so he got in and out very quickly, which is smart. I would have done the same thing. Yeah, Christian said freaking red flags. I was looking for that as well. Chris as well. So Chris got out in and out quickly. Nice work, Chris. Yeah, smart move, guys. If you guys want to take these entries, like I said, they're risky, but you can take them for smaller targets to get in and out very quickly. 20 points would have hit pretty nicely right there. Smoothly just in and out from that point. Man, Chris, you've been on fire this week, bro. This week and last week. I think from Friday till now, you've been doing pretty solid. I mean, nonetheless, it was a good setup. There's a lot of good confluences there. Ideally, this is the type of intro I would have looked for, but it's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry, of course. Nice. And then Rashida as well. Rashida said caught it because it was also a levels entry. Perfect. So that's key right there, guys. Using different strategies as your confluences, that's the key thing, right? For me, I'm always looking for confluences. It's not the strategy by itself that I'm looking for. I'm looking for confluences to follow. So nice work on all you guys. Rashida, Chris, Sam, everyone who got into it. Solid move right there for the MPSV2 or levels, depending on what you were looking for. So great work right there, guys, on catching that. I'm still looking for my opportunity for entry. Don't have it yet. We have a possible, okay, so we have a possible sweep area here now. That's starting to set up. So price ends up, which it's probably going to range around here. If it ends up ranging around here and it establishes a new low, this could be a possible sweep area if it comes back up to there. So we'll see what happens next. We got price pushing down. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here for a sell now. So we got a sell signal, price pushing down. We'll see if this retraces back up. If that's the case, possible MPSV2 to the downside. If price pushes down lower from here, I'm going to be looking for a possible sweep down in this area right here. All right, we're starting to get this drop now. Yeah, Sam said he's staying out of this heavy dump. I'm gonna wait for it to slow down a little bit. I'm not gonna set my order here for a sweep yet because, or I don't know, there might be something going on right now. Here, let me check over here real quick. Uh, See if there's any news right now. Any breaking news? Here, I'll just ask ChatGPT right now. By any breaking. Lady 2 a.m. So I just want to see if there's any breaking news right now without having to pull up CNBC and stuff. Let's see. Nothing really. Let's check financial juice. Yeah, nothing. Price is just kind of dropping for a bit right now. Looks like it was probably going to sweep this area right here, the point of control, but now it's dropping lower. Let's see. So for right now, it says Dow Futures reversed higher after reports that Iran is open to nuclear discussions, sending YM up slightly ahead of open. Okay. So they're talking to Iran right now to basically prevent the World War III from happening. All right, we'll see. So there's some chatter about Iran kind of discussing negotiation regarding uh their nuclear weapons. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Sam said, man, the buyer's trap is so good. Glad MPS V2 quick in and out. Yeah, quick setup right there for that. So it looks like another trap here, probably a seller's trap. Price didn't really get too low. For me personally, I wouldn't really get into the sweeps from up here. I think the sweeps from up here are too high. If you guys want to take it from there, you guys can, but I mean, there's a possible sweep right here off the point of control. I wouldn't mess with those sweeps, though. They're too high. Ideally, I'd look for the sweep down here at 42,526. So, but again, I think this sweep might be a little too. I mean, I'll watch it. Of course, I'll watch it, but I think this sweep might be a little too low. Let's see. So the micro support here has been broken. We'll see if it breaks and retests or if it stays below this area. Let me check my PDF outlook for the day. I don't think we're gonna get close to like any of these levels that my PDF was kind of aiming for. So there's a couple support areas down here to look for. It said bearish breakdown below 41,834. We're not really getting to that point here. I don't think we'll even get down to it's pretty far down to get to that 41,000. 41,834. Yeah, it's way down here. So that's probably not going to happen today. Yeah, it looks like that sweep there just did play through. It was kind of I mean it's trapping traders in both directions. So there was a sweep right here at the point of control. I mean, obviously it's not one I would take. There's no confluences there. It was just a point of control. If we had liquidity right here, that'd be a different story. So if I had liquidity down here, I would have taken it, but there was no liquidity down here. It was just point of control. Yeah, let's see what else we got. There's not really much here to look at or to take at the moment. Again, I'm just looking for that sweep, but the sweep's not anywhere near 7:30 right now. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock. As we get closer to 8 o'clock, volatility is probably going to slow down a little bit. This is a possible MPSV2 for a sell right here if you guys are looking to take it. Thanks, Ben, for the heads up. So MPSV2 currently running right now, guys. I'm a little wary with MPSV2s. I mean, as of now, at least, I'm kind of looking for these sweeps, but this would be key right here. If this MPSV2 pushes down, it'll push down to my sweep level. I like taking sweeps because I can just put a pending order there and it's a limit order, so it gets me in at my exact price. Versus MPSV2, where I always get caught in these in slippage. Hey, Kai, come here. Kai. What's that? Is there a disconnect? I think my Ninja Trader disconnected. Hey, what's up, Eric? Eric said, "Do you go live daily?" Yes. I've been going live daily for about 8 years now, I think. Every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30, or I get on around 6:20, 6:20 to about around 8. So about every morning. Basically every morning when the market's open. So Monday through Friday. And if you want to see the daily outlooks, it's posted in the Discord. So if anybody's here and you guys want to have these daily outlooks where I have all these levels pretty much listed for you, just go to the Discord. If you're on the YouTube, just scroll down to the description. The link for the Discord is there. Or if you go to the website, if you go to the website, you can click here. So the website's codykaitrades.com. Also in the description, there's a button there that says click here for your free access to our trading strategies and community. If you have this here, it'll give you access to everything, the strategies, the indicators, I mean, pretty much everything, plus the Discord where I post this PDF every morning. All right, the MPSV2 is running in profit, guys. It's almost at its TP. I think 20 points already hit. Yeah, 20 points hit already. We'll see if it pushes for that full 30. But you can see here that it's trapping both buyers and sellers. So like right here, it trapped buyers at top, came down, trapped the sellers at bottom, pushed back up, trapped the buyers up top, and it came right back down. So we're in this like really choppy market right now, guys, where price is kind of just getting chopped up. Basically, it was a break and retest off that micro support. So it did exactly what we talked about earlier. I said if price came down below this area, look for the possible break and retest of the micro support, which is what happened. I'm still looking for price to get down to here. So this here is perfect because I'm looking for price to break and retest, push down, and then trap sellers down here and push back up. And I'm looking for that sweep around this area. There's three levels of sweep here. I probably wouldn't go for the first one, maybe the second one or the third one right here. Ideally, I'd go for the third one, but if you want to take it a little more riskier, you can go in for the middle one right here at 537. If it stops you out, that's fine. You can always jump in at a later level. There's like no more liquidity right here though. So this would probably be your only option, one of these levels here. And then if you have the opportunity, you can get down again from down here. There's a lot of different opportunities here. It's just the market's too slow, so we're not getting, that type of volatility that we need. But full TP right there for the MPSV2. Today's actually a pretty good day, guys. A lot of entries here are hitting. And it's after 7 o'clock. So it's after 7, but we're still getting some pretty nice volatility here. Whoops. Yeah, we're getting some pretty nice volatility. The only thing is that once it gets close to the area that we're actually looking for, the volatility dies down. So we got some nice volatility here for the MPSV2. I was hoping to get a stronger push down right here. I'm getting some connection loss on my Ninja Trader, guys. Let me check my. Okay, so all of my Apex accounts disconnected just a while ago, and then now my Tradeify account's just disconnected. Just be careful. You guys are looking to take entries. Make sure to keep an eye out for your account in case you got to pull out of it earlier or manually pull out. Yeah, Gail got it too. Usually when stuff like that happens, it kind of gives you a hint that something crazy is going to happen, like some sort of breakout. Yeah, Eric said I really appreciate it. This session is super helpful and I'm learning a lot from it. Yeah, no, definitely, bro. If you I don't know if you already signed up to the free course or like what I mentioned earlier, but all the strategies are covered there. So if you want to understand like what an MPSV2 is or liquidity and stuff like that, it's explained. But yeah, you're probably gonna learn more like the most of everything from the actual live sessions because I do the same thing every single day. So if you want to hop on tomorrow on Monday and all of next week, if you just hop on to enough sessions, you're gonna start to understand my lingo because they talk about the same thing every day. MPSV2s, sweeps, resistance, support, point of control. Like these terms are going to make more sense because it's just a rinse and repeat of the process. There's only two setups that I'm looking for. I'm either looking for a directional move, which is an MPS V2. So like the ones that are colored in green are MPS V2s. These are directional moves. So we're either looking for these types of directional moves where price will kind of push up, retrace, and continue lower, which are going to be the green boxes. And then the sweeps are going to be the reversals, which are going to be the blue boxes. So you got a directional move, sweep, directional move, sweep, directional move. Now that we have a directional move over here, I'm going to be looking for a sweep right there. Because the market typically moves in just three directions, right? It either goes down, it goes up, or it goes sideways, right? So the main concepts here is when price is going down, we look for MPS V2s for a sell. When price is going up, we look for MPS V2s for a buy. When price is going sideways, we look for sweeps, right? It pretty much covers everything you really need. It's like I try to simplify it as much as possible. Because the market really just moves in three directions. It's like when it's directional, take the MPS V2s. When it's ranging or going sideways, take the sweeps. All right, y'all, we'll see you back here on Monday. So y'all's all done. We'll see you back here on Monday for market open. Steven is asking, Sean, I want to confirm if my goal is to make 1,000 a month, is 750 risk per trade? Yes, Steve. I'm just gonna say yes. I'm just gonna give you a simple yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna go any deeper into that. Just gonna say yes because if I go into any deeper, you're just gonna get more confused. So just take the yes and do what I do what I advise. Yeah, just do that and you're good, bro. All right, we have a possible buy MPS V2 setting up right here. Thanks, Siobhan, for the heads up. We have a buy signal here that's currently pending. With the buy signal right there, we'll see if price pushes up, retraces, continues up higher. If that's the case, then price may try to aim for the opening price up here. All right, we got that buy signal which closed, and we'll see what happens here as price continues to um, climb up higher. All right, we got price pushing up from here. So the thing is, like I said earlier, guys, I'm not really looking for these MPS V2s. There's going to be an MPS V2 that's starting to set up. I'm mainly looking for the sweeps to follow. The problem is like price isn't getting down to my level here. I'm trying to get down here so I can get these sweeps. Um, there may be some new levels here, so let me just see real quick if there's. I mean, not really. There's a possible sweep level right here. Okay, so this might be a sweep that is currently happening and active right now. There's actually a lot of levels here now. So price here has gone into a range. So now that price is in this range, it's starting to create a lot of areas of liquidity. So looking at this right here now, we have a sweep that's currently running. I mean, I don't think it was a great sweep, but so there's going to be conflicting analysis here. We have a sweep that's currently running down, and we also have an MPS V2 that's currently pending for the upside. I wouldn't touch either of them. I mean, if you want to take the MPS V2, that's probably your better option. But there's a possible sweep right here. It's off the micro scalp, or the micro support, so it's not really an area that I'd look for confluence. Um, but yeah, there's an MPS V2 here now. So there's a sweep that probably swept off that or tried to sweep off that area. And look at this. It's a pretty big mess. So we got the sweep right there that's running. Some pretty crazy candles right here. Um, if this candle closed green and the sweep right there just hit full TP, so sweep full TP off this level right here, some sort of a confluence within the micro support. And then the MPSV2 actually didn't actually close, so we got price coming back down. Let me see if my sweeps can finally get filled down here. Kind of tempted to get in from this upper sweep. Price is kind of chopping down right here, 525. Yeah, I might already filled the sweep right here. Oh my God, this thing happened too quick. All right, so I missed it completely, guys. So my whole sweep area right here, this is literally what I've been waiting for this whole session. I was looking for price to come down, fill my sweep. It basically double swept. It swept from here, which was the micro support, and then it came down to this area right here, and it swept off the 537. It was way too fast, so there's no way I could have gotten into it unless I had a pending order in place. Yeah, exactly. Like Shivam said, it's basically trapping people in both directions. Uh, it's probably a good thing to just sit on our hands, just like what Shivam said. I agree, bro. I mean, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get into my sweep here, but I'm more glad that I didn't get into like a fake out right here because you can see here that the market is faking out in both directions. It's pretty much Yeah, it's pretty much wiping out people in both directions. This is why for me personally, I prefer to take the sweeps versus the MPSV2s. Given there was no MPSV2 that came up here, but you guys can see the sweeps here, they're actually lighting up pretty nicely. So we got two sweeps right there. I mean, we have another level up here, but not one that I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, either way, this I was still looking for my lower sweep zone right here. Price didn't fill the lower sweep zone. If you guys remember, there was three levels here. I mentioned you can get in from the top, middle, or the farthest one below. Farthest one below is the one I was aiming for. Never actually filled. Sam over here as well. He said did not fill for him on MYM on the micro contract. Nice. Drew said got that 20, passed another eval for 250K. Nice work, Drew. Great work, guys. Yeah, you guys have been doing pretty good so far. It seems like a lot of you guys are liking these sweeps, so I'm glad that we started to implement them. They work really well with the other strategies that we apply. So obviously, the MPS V2s, we look for the directional moves. We now kind of cover everything in full spectrum. We have the directional entries and we have the sweep entries that are for ranging markets. There just wasn't really too many confluences here for me to look at. I mean, obviously, I was looking for confluences for my sweeps. There's a sweep right here, but there was no confluences around this area. So I think this middle level still wouldn't have been my ideal point of entry. 7:44 right now. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock, guys. Yeah, we are getting closer to 8 o'clock where the volatility will probably die down quite a bit. All right, guys, I'm looking for possible opportunity here, but it's not looking like we're gonna get anything anytime soon. Yeah, Sam said stupid sweet, missed by 3 pips. Yeah, I mean, same here, bro. I missed it just by a little bit too. I was trying to get in. Did you try to get in at this lower level, Sam? I think that's where you try to get into, right? Because I was trying to get in right here too. Yeah, literally 3 points. So you're trying to get in the same level as me. I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, we talked about this, and we still talk about this time and time again. It's it's Friday. We're coming back from a holiday yesterday. I'm just being a little more conservative. Let's see, next week, uh, I don't have data on it yet, but so if you guys want to see my market outlook, guys, I will post the PDF on Sunday, and then on Sunday I will also produce a YouTube video explaining the market outlook for June week three. That's going to be key because we're going to cover a lot of key things there. So, like for example, here I cover the monthly where I have the monthly resistance and support prices in the middle. So we're not getting close to those levels yet. But looking over here on the weekly, this is going to adjust a little bit. This is going to adjust a little bit because we're going to go from week two to week three. Obviously, things here are going to be slightly different. It'll probably tighten up a little bit. This range will probably get a little tighter. Looks like price is starting to kind of range within this area now. So it looks like the range is between the micro support level right here and the Asia high down below. Price hasn't actually gotten to the Asia high below, but it is kind of ranging around that area now. It's not anywhere near our support levels for my outlook for the day. The support levels are like way down here. Yeah, it's way down here at 42,000. So we're not going to get there today. So we got a possible sweep area right here as price continues to come down further. We never got the MPSV2 for the buy. So the buy signal right here was leveled at this point. We had a retracement. Price never pushed up. In order for us to get that MPSV2 price, we need to push up to this area right here. And in order for me to get like a pretty good sweep, I would need to get at least some sort of extension. I don't think the extension here is going to be good enough for me to want to take it. It's going to be about 70 points. Like ideally, I'd like to see like around 100. All right, so like check these out right here. So look how we have, you guys see how we have the sweep that happened right here? So with the sweep right there, look at the extension from this top point to here. It's about 100 points, right? Into a perfect sweep right there. Same with this one right here. See how price kind of pushed down from this upper point to down here? It's about 100 points right into the sweep. Looking at this here right now, we probably measure it from this. It's not close enough. It's like 70 points, so it's not really a nice sweep area. What I'd like to see here actually is I'd like to see price kind of climb up a bit higher, which I don't think we're going to get. It's already 7:50, so we have about 10 minutes till 8. What I'd like to see is price to probably push up a little bit, maybe set up for that MPSV2, push up higher and then come back down and then sweep. But I don't think that's going to happen because my cutoff time for trading is here at 8 o'clock. Let's see, Sam's asking 1542. No. Yeah, so 1542. I'm assuming you're talking about this right here, right? This green candle. So no sweep right here because the momentum was up here. So in order for us to have that sweep, the green candle would have to close up here where the momentum's at. So yeah, no MPSV2 on that one. I thought it was going to close on this one though. So this is what I was looking at earlier. We had the buy signal. price retraced, and this candle was actually up here initially, and that's where the sweep happened. Yeah, no problem. All right, so we have a possible sweep here again setting up at that same lower level that I was talking about. Again, I don't think this is going to be a really good area for the sweeps to be taken because price hasn't really extended out very much. If anything, if you want to take the sweep, I would probably take it at the Asia high down here. I wouldn't take it at the liquidity. I would take it at the Asia high right here at the 517. I mean, it's still not that far. It's only an 80 point push. Like I said, I want it to extend at least like 100 points before I even think to take a sweep. I'll follow it though. I'll watch it. If it sweeps up, maybe I'll get in for an entry. But I do want to see the volatility here as price continues to push around. So price looks like it grabbed liquidity again right there at that lower level. It never got, or not the lower level, but the first one. It never got to this lower one that we were waiting for, which is at now it did. But like I said, it didn't push far enough, so I'm not really looking to get in from there. If anything, I'd probably get in from the Asia high over here. But the Asia high is still not far enough. See, I like this 100 point push at least. All right, so it looks like the sweep right there already got filled, guys, at that second level. It's pushing up. And I should have just taken that sweep. It's okay. Yeah, so there goes the sweep right there. It hit for about 20 points, looks like already. The 30 points is on its way. Yeah, it's about to hit its 30. Yep, it is what it is. I should have put my pending order waiting there, but I was trying to wait for it to push lower because it wasn't overextended far enough. Man, a lot of entries today. Yeah, a lot of entries for the day. I didn't take anything myself, but there's a lot of opportunities that came up here. I'm still up for the week, so I'm not really stressing about it. So for this week so far, I'm currently at 27,200. Not too bad. We had a pretty nice win on Monday, made 24,000. Win on Wednesday. This was a full TP, but I moved my stop loss in profit, so I only got 3,200. But this was a full move. And then again over here, a lot of moves over here on Friday. So basically 3 days of like full, like solid wins. Um, Yeah, for me personally, I like to try to get into trades before 7 o'clock because the volatility starts to die down. That's what I was worried about here. I thought the volatility was going to start to flatten out because we're getting close to 8 o'clock. But yeah, these sweeps here have been hitting pretty good. Sam said 5 out of 5 wins today. Happy weekend, brothers. Yeah, definitely, Sam. You killed it. Nice work on that. Um, did you get anything, Christian? All the entries, like all the MPSV2s came up around red flags, and then also the sweeps, they didn't line up where I wanted them to line up. So fortunately, I skipped out on a lot of them here. Looks like price might still come down to this lower area here, guys. So price is still coming back down. Again, like the sweep area that I was looking for would be around the sessions over here. But I think the volatility here is just getting a little too low. I know, Christian, right? Yeah, Christian said change my sweep to Asia and the sweep on and it swept on the original. I know. It's like should have just stuck to the original plan. This was the original plan for today, guys. This whole day I was looking to catch a sweep on this level right here, the one that just happened. But what happened was we got the earlier sweep here, so I didn't want to mess with that sweep again because that level was already tested. So I moved it down to the Asia high over here, and then it ended up sweeping on the initial level, but not coming down to the Asia high. It's getting too close to 8 o'clock now. Yeah, it looks like the volatility here is going to start to die down a bit. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Like I said before, guys, if you want to see my weekly outlook, so I post outlooks pretty much every day, every week, and every month. So, these are pretty much all my outlooks for this week. I'm gonna have week two or a week three actually. This will be June week three. Yeah, so I have June week three coming up. Uh, Sunday afternoon. So if you guys want to see that, I'll post the video up. I'll also post up the PDF and we'll cover the next week so like we can be more prepared. This stuff's been helping a lot, guys. So if you guys haven't been looking at the PDFs, we have the monthly support and resistance marked up. We have the weekly support and resistance. We have the weekly levels to watch. Um, there's a lot of this helps with giving us a lot of certainty with like what to look out for because typically we just look for what's happening for the day. But now that we have a good understanding of like what's happening for the month, what's happening for the week, and what's happening for the day, it's been making like a huge, huge difference in our setups here. So yeah, Sam said, "Yo, bro, it came for me as I was crying." I know, yeah, your setup over there, it played out exactly. Let's see, your setup was at yeah, so your setup was right here, literally where mine was. I should have taken it with you, Sam. I don't know why I second thought it, but well, obviously I know I second thought it. It just wasn't extended out enough. But yeah, your sweep was exactly the same level as my sweep, and I should have taken it because when our analysis lines up like that, it usually hits for the most part. Chris said 3 wins, 1 loss today. Great day. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, definitely, Chris. So Chris, you killed it too. Keep it up, man. If you can keep up that consistency. I mean, you're in good hands, of course, for the rest of the summer. Now that we kind of have this framework in play, I think looking for the MPSV2s and the sweeps are going to make a whole lot of difference when we have these levels around it as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. But again, guys, here are my profits for the week. So for the week, I locked in 27,200 for the year so far. I'm currently up 415,510. This is my equity curve. You guys can see it's not a smooth curve, but this is how trading is. I'm keeping it realistic with you guys. It's not always going to be super great. We had pretty much a good year up until April. So from January up until April, when the tariff news came out, we had a pretty nice push to the upside. So pretty nice push right here. And then I kind of been in limbo since April until today. So like from April until today, I kind of lost a bit when the tariff news came out, made a bit, lost a bit, made a bit, lost a bit, and then I'm right down the middle now. So I'm currently at this much profit gross for the year. I try to keep it realistic with you guys because a lot of people out there are showing you like crazy profits every single day. That's not the norm in trading. Sometimes you'll go through like some couple months like this where it'll be kind of choppy, but eventually our goal is to keep climbing up higher. So now that we have framework moving forward into the rest of the year with MPSV twos and sweeps, I think we're going to be pretty good as we follow this market. So again, guys, it's 8 o'clock. This is my cutoff for trading. Not going to look for anything else. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys are on the YouTube and you guys want to learn these strategies, or you guys want to be on the Zoom or any of that, just scroll down to the description. My PDFs like this, they're posted to the Discord every day. So if you guys want these PDFs, they're completely free. If you want to learn the strategies, it's completely free. I just go to the website, CodyKaiTrades.com, or if you go down to the description, there's a link there as well. It says free Cody Kai trading education, and then also the website. If you go to the website, click here for free access, and that'll give you access to everything. But all right, guys, I think that's it. Looks like price here might sweep the Asia high. I think it already filled. It is 8 o'clock though, so I'm not going to get into this position. But the sweep did get filled right there at the Asia high. This one's probably going to hit stop loss, and I'm glad I didn't take it because that always happens. It's like the one trade that I decide to take, but I decided not to take this one. Um, But jokes aside, I hope this does hit. This will probably kind of take a while for it to hit because it is 8 o'clock. We might get some consolidation range around here, but eventually it's probably going to push up and hit CP. But all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, this was a great week so far. Great week overall. Lots of profits all around. One thing that I forgot to do, so let me just do that real quick, is I'm going to take a screenshot of all the trades for today. Yeah, almost forgot to do that. Yeah, if you look at all the stats for this week, it's been a pretty good week, guys. Like pretty much all of the entries that we took for this week and then we identified and we saw pretty good entries right here on Wednesday. A lot of wins. Um, Also right here on Tuesday, a lot of wins. Monday as well, a lot of wins, and then today, some pretty nice setups all around. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for market open.